I spent a lot of time trying to educate Wright on the fact that this anti-Scientology narrative is really defective on the early days of Scientology, on the coordinated government, psychiatric, medical sort of block to try to wipe it out of existence, right? Well, interestingly, I brought up Ewan Cameron to him. I said, look up Ewan Cameron. Ewan Cameron was the head of the FDA when the FDA started infiltrating Scientology in the early 50s. Ewan Cameron was at McGill University doing mind control experiments, which were really torture experiments. That's what Ewan Cameron did. He put people under extensive and repeated shock treatments, deep sleep drugging that would go on for months at a time. And after crushing the person physically and mentally, holding them in dark spaces where they had no orientation whatsoever for weeks on end. And then it was followed by being kept in a drug state to be reprogrammed. He'd play recordings over and over, giving them ideological things and programming their whole ethos, their whole view of their whole worldviews. And so, anyway, so Wright, he takes that and he says, Cameron hoped to cure mental illness by eliminating painful memories and reordering the personality through positive suggestion. That's how he characterizes what I just told you. It's been documented, and I gave him the work on it with the documentation, and that's how he characterizes it, because he's literally defending Ewan Cameron and euphemizing what this guy was doing in order to justify, I guess, everything that Hubbard went through. The guy who was the psychiatrist who was the architect of all this, Ewan Cameron, at the time was the point man for all the establishment attacks on Hubbard and Dianetics at that time. So what do you conclude from that? I mean, what he's done is he's reversed it 180 degrees to use some of the stuff that Cameron was involved in, and he's arguing that that's what Scientology does.